comments about how they did yesterday, please put them in the yes, over there or down there in the comments. So I have a little bit of a headache today, so that's part of my baseline, and we'll see if I'm just waiting for people to hop on. We'll see if I can get this to go away in this practice. Hi, Sheldon. So I want to give a shout out to Sheldon. Sheldon held space for me last night while I cried, and I'm using his mug this morning for his upcoming album, To Those Who Wait. I love the title of it, and Sheldon's music is really beautiful, and it comes out on February 14th. So, all right, I hope everybody's feeling well and slept well. I want to talk a little bit about my experience, just as a little to set the stage for today's alignment. So I slept well, but I didn't want to get up. And that's something that I find, and I don't know if anybody has any tips on restful sleeping and feeling really rejuvenated when you wake up, because that seems to be a thing for me. And I don't know if that's a thing for a bunch of you. I like to think it's because I'm off, doing all kinds of things while I'm sleeping and in other worlds, but that might not be the case. So yeah, if anybody has any tips about that, I would really appreciate it. There is one thing that I did, though, that I think, and again, alignment, right? Part of starting our day really well is to wake up feeling refreshed. And if we don't wake up feeling refreshed, it's not a great start to the day. So that's something that I have as a goal, to align with more restorative, restful, rejuvenating sleep. So one of the things that I've done in the past that I didn't even realize was part of the reason that I was waking up feeling well rested was I had put a crystal grid underneath my bed. And I have a crystal under there right now, but I think it needs to be cleaned, purified, probably. So that's one thing that you can do that I know has helped me. And if any of you want to try that, set up, it could even be like 3 crystals, 1 crystal, it doesn't really matter. Try throwing some crystals, and you can do your research online as to what feels good for you. I know I have a huge piece of gem quality selenite underneath my bed right now, and so I dream a lot, like all night long. I'll fall asleep and wake up and then go back into a dream. So I don't think selenite is the greatest thing for really restorative sleep, because I feel like I'm just traveling out, doing some astral travel, and I have that under my bed. So you may want some more grounding things like tourmaline, or I'm not a crystal person, the black crystals. And what else did I want to talk about? Hang on. So there's just a couple things that I want to touch on before we start our practice. Oh yeah. So restorative sleep is really helpful. Getting up, setting your space. Okay. So part of being aligned and ready for the day is to notice what are the things that you can do in your space to help you feel like what's in here is being represented out here. If you're in a cluttered mess, please think about organizing your space. You'll feel better inside, okay? Because it does impact both ways. So I like to think of my space as being representative. A whole bunch of birds just flew by. Woo. I like to think of my space as representative of how I feel about myself and how I tend to my own well-being. And it's always tidy, except for when I'm reorganizing things. So yesterday I ended up reorganizing my closet, which was something that's been on my list for a really long time, and getting rid of some old stuff that I don't need anymore. Okay, so when you get up, I don't know if you looked at my page, but I posted some stretches for all y'all, okay? And daily stretching is something that I would like you to incorporate into your alignment practice, and we probably won't do it together on this video because I don't know. I have to figure out how to set it up so that I have enough space to stretch and you can see me and it's lit enough and all that if I'm doing that, but that's not really my jam. So you can do the stretches on your own. I'll post them on there. And the stretches come from, as far as I know, they come from Bob Anderson, who is the father of a friend of mine. So check out his book on stretching, Dr. Bob Anderson, okay? I'm doing plugs for my friends today. Also, before we start our daily alignment, this is part of my daily alignment, and you're probably not going to be able to see what it says on here. See, I'm still getting used to how this works with the camera. So this is Pixie's Potions. I use Pixie's Potions every single day. Pixie Eagle Heart is on Facebook as well. I'll put a link in the comments. And she has a sale on right now on all of her last year's stock because she's creating new products. Pixie's products are amazing. And she and I trained as shamanic practitioners together. So she does all kinds of really wonderful medicine woman practices, and she can explain all that. She is doing live videos now too. We started on the same day. We didn't plan that. So anyway, check out Pixie's stuff because you want some of that, especially while it's on sale. But I buy it full price from her. I don't get it for free. I pay her for it. So anyway, I think that covers it. So breakfast, make sure you're starting the day with something that is really nourishing your body, and you're not, please don't start with a cup of coffee. You can drink your coffee, but start with something hydrating, okay? So make it a rule that if you're going to have coffee, which sometimes I do, and I'm trying to cut back on that. If you do have, I'm lying, I have coffee almost every day, but I'm trying not to. So I have tea here in my cup. But if you do have coffee every morning, please drink at least one, 8-ounce glass of water prior to. You can do warm water, or do like an herbal tea or something, because coffee can be really dehydrating. And especially for those of you who live in Colorado, hydration can be an issue. Proper hydration. So I hear that my fan is running on my laptop again. I have to get this resolved. So the sound is going to be a little weird, but bear with me. So let's see, we've been doing 7 minutes already. Okay, so for those of you who joined yesterday, you know how we started, okay? So I'd like everybody to take a deep breath with me. Check in on what's happening in your body. Are you feeling anything? Is there any pain anywhere? I know some of you have pain every day. I know what that's like. We can work on that, okay? So do you have anything coming up? What's coming up for me is I have some pain in my heart. And my head hurts a little bit less than when I started, so that's good. And I know I've been really emotional, and this daily alignment practice will sometimes stir up some emotions because we're working on aligning, and when we're working on aligning, sometimes there are things that need to come to the surface that kind of bubble out they come up for us to see and be aware of and hold lovingly, and then we can allow them to leave our field gracefully. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And okay, so step number 2. Okay, so we've checked on our baseline. We know where our headspace is at, where our body's at, where our emotions and physiology is at. Are we stressy? Okay. Step number 2. Okay, where am I in relation to my body? Okay, so take a long deep breath. We're asking, where am I in relation to my body? And notice where your attention goes. It might go out somewhere in the space around you. Okay, and you're going to take a deep breath and imagine drawing those parts of you that have kind of popped out, drawing those in. And we can make the statement, I am in alignment within myself, and I allow full embodiment. So you can say that out loud if you feel like it. So I noticed today when I breathed in, I actually was embodied. I wasn't popped out. I felt very linear in my energetic field and very brought in. So that's good. So doing that yesterday helped me because often I am popped out, especially after being so emotional last night. That'll sometimes expand us out a bit in a way that's uncomfortable. Okay, so now we're going to take 3 long deep breaths just like we did yesterday. And so a 4 or 5 count out for those for those of you who weren't with me yesterday, and 4 to 5 count out. Okay, so do 5 in, hold for a second, out for 5, 3 times, and on the 3rd breath, think of something that makes you feel really, really yummy. Okay, so something you're really grateful for. So go ahead and start, and I'll do my 3 breaths with you. Third breath. So good. I feel high again. So where I went was remembering my children as little babies. That was my yummy today. Feel free to share your yummy in the comments because I think that'd be really fun to know what helped you embody the feeling of mm, gratitude, love. Again, I like to call it glow, glowy. That's a word that I was supposed to use in all my videos, glowy. So we'll fit it in. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to mention was to remember now that we're in our heart center, okay? And I would recommend for those of you who didn't watch the video yesterday to have a watch. It's just under 20 minutes, but it's kind of the foundational aspects of why we're doing the daily alignment and why it's important and what we're doing when we're aligning with the unified field, okay? And the importance of the language that we're using is crucial, and we'll talk about that as we go through our daily alignments as things come up, okay? So I am aligned, I am embodied, and I allow my abundance, okay? That's a really good thing to align with. And you can make some statements now about what you would like to align with for the day. Things like prosperity, abundance, joy, laughter. What else? Wonder. I like that one. Curiosity. So when you're aligning with things and you're calling them in, be very mindful of what it is that you're calling into alignment with you. Okay? And when we're in our heart center, we're in the field of the heart. We're in the unified 0 point, basically, singularity. And when we're in a singularity, all things are possible. So always remember, drop into the field of the heart. I see creativity. Very nice. Okay, yes, creativity is great to align with, especially for those of us who make a living off of it. It's really helpful. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today, and this video is longer than what I thought it was going to be, but I guess you guys are okay with it. So what has been coming up in the collective right now is some grief with Kobe having the accident and dying in the helicopter crash with his daughter. And I don't know if they even mentioned who the other people were, but I don't really follow a lot of that stuff. I don't watch the news, and I would highly recommend if any of you watch the news, break your alignment with that because it's a lot of it is very, very fear-based. There are things that you can find that are very positive and uplifting and helpful and productive to integrate into your day. Do that. Align with those things, okay? If it makes you feel horrible inside, stop paying attention to that stuff, okay? And yeah, we do need to be aware of what's happening in the world, but at the same time, be very aware of how it's impacting you in your own state because you are impacting the world, okay? So that's more important. The impact that you have on the world. I just saw an angry face on there. What? The impact that you're having on the world is more important than what's happening out here because the state that you're in is going to actually affect the collective. Okay, so be conscious and mindful of the state that you're holding, and that is also alignment for the day. So what came in last night when I was thinking, well, it was kind of the middle of the night when I woke up, when I was thinking about this is what I'd like to do is go through kind of a little bit of a shamanic exercise with you today, and then I'll cut off for the day. But whether your heart is feeling or not, it doesn't really matter. It's a good exercise for your heart. And what came in was the thought that we will drop into our heart and we'll imagine, and this kind of came in a session the other day. It was really cool. If you could imagine being in a big open space in the void and you could see your own heart or your own core, however you like to see that, I'm actually seeing my physical beating heart, pulsing in the void. And then what came in last night was to connect to the heart of my inner child. So I'd like for everyone to do that. And I do it better when I close my eyes. So I'm going to close my eyes instead of look at you so that I can go into journey with you and I'll guide you in, okay? So we're going to take 3 long deep breaths again. and go back into that heart space. And notice if in your heart you're feeling any pain, if you're holding on to any grief. I know I am, and it's okay. And I'm going to offer that something that feels better in my heart. Okay, so if we're in open space, just I'm seeing a black void. And I can see my heart. Okay, so find your heart however you want to see it. You might see it as a ball of light. Notice that it's pulsing. Notice what color it is and anything else about it that you're curious about. Just notice that. Okay, watch how it's beating. Keep breathing. Now look in that void. Expand your awareness. Okay, and look around in that void for the beating heart of your inner child, your little one. And for me, I'm seeing myself as a little girl, and I can kind of see my heart glowing, beating through my chest. I'm wearing a dress like you would see on maybe Little House on the Prairie. So notice your inner child. Notice your inner child's beating heart. Is there a glow? Can you see a facial expression? Does your inner child look sad? Okay. And I want you to now imagine your beating heart in your body, and you are in that void as well, fully embodied. And I want you to move closer to that little child. And I would like you to kneel down in front of that little you, okay, and look yourself in the eyes and say, everything is going to be okay. And put your hand over your own heart, your left hand over your own heart, your right hand over the heart, the beating heart of this little you. Take a long, deep breath. And now I would like you to embrace that inner child and draw him or her, there's Bodhi over here checking out. Draw him or her in that big hug right into your own body and integrate that right in. Long, deep breath. And feel the heart merge with the heart of the inner child. Okay, and now we're going to align with something that we can be grateful for to bring the vibration back up again. So think of something that you're deeply grateful for. And I'm hearing my mother and father and how they raised me. And you'll have your own. What are you grateful for? Okay, now I'm going to open my eyes. Okay, now that might feel a little different. So I'm curious about how people feel after that. I feel personally, I have pain in my heart. Okay, so that tells me that when I align with my little girl, that there is some heartache that's there, and it's mine, and it's also my little girl's, and I can sort through what that is for me as I go through my day. And so let's see what's helpful, because this is kind of uncomfortable for me, and I don't know where you're at. I guess it depends on where your little child was at. And I've done inner child work, so it's not that I haven't done that, but there's some pain that's been coming up in the collective right now, and we would feel that. All right, so it's opening a bit. So imagine breathing into okay, here's how we're going to align with a different frequency, okay? So breathe into your heart. And some of you might be feeling great. This is just me. And this is my daily alignment practice too. So I got to make myself feel better before I shut the video off. So I'm going to imagine my core, my heart center lighting up. I get bright gold. You'll get your own color. And there's a frequency to colors. And I'm going to light that up and expand it. And this is energetic or informational medicine. There we go. That feels better. Okay. Ow. That for a minute there. Okay, so do you see how easy that is? Let's see. Is there anything else? No, that's all that I wanted to cover for today. I don't want to keep people too long. But do you see how easy that is? You got to experience me feeling uncomfortable in my physical body because of the energetics of integrating and aligning with my personal child in that heart-centered. There was a grieving that's been happening. And so I, through the power of free will, I can shift my experience by aligning with a different frequency, okay? And using light is one way to do that. So hopefully that was helpful to all of you today. Way longer than I planned again, but I guess that's okay. There's still people watching. So have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. And as you move through your day, think about what are you grateful for that has already happened, that will happen, that's about to happen, and what do you want to align with today, this day. I love you all. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah.